The following episode may contain sensitive content. Listener discretion is advised.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
We're good. How are you?
Silence.
Crickets. That was a delayed response.
Well, I was making sure it's recording for me. That's always like my stress.
I know.
Is
I'm
it
always afraid
recording?
that. Right.
Is it not recording?
I constantly look down at my recorder in the middle of the podcast to just make sure that we are recording, because
Yeah.
it would be a nightmare that we get halfway through an episode and one of us is not recording.
Exactly. So I wanted to make sure.
If it's me, it's okay. No one wants to hear me anyway. It's fine.
Oh, shut up, Tracey.
T-Boneski, you're actually the most insightful one of the three of us.
Right.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
And if this
Tell
is
me
your-
more.
Right. If this is your first time here, this is the show Must Go On, and I'm Giovanni.
I'm Tracey.
And I'm Nikki. Welcome to the Judging Zone.
Come judge with us.
Everything is allowed here. This is a safe space, and we do this on a weekly basis. We talk about movies, we talk about actors, performers, directors. We talk about everything that we have the right to talk about because we're also actors and we're successful.
And we have the rights to everything, so.
Exactly.
Right. Anything you want to add to that, Tracey?
No, I'm successful in my dreams. When you say we're successful, it was like in my head only.
Right. Well, we know what we're talking about.
We have some experience.
Right.
So.
What are you guys watching lately? Any good stuff? Movies, series? Come on, throw it at me.
I finished Shogun.
Okay. Nice.
I can't wait for you guys to watch it.
I think I'm on episode 5 or 6. I'm halfway through it.
Okay. What about
Yes.
you, Tracey?
I've actually been watching Psych, which is like an older show.
I know what Psych is.
Wait, is that a comedy show?
But
Yeah,
you have homework, Tracy.
Oh,
know.
Tracy.
Well, the thing is, like Shogun, I do recommend to watch like slowly because it's kind of like it's one of those shows that you have to think. I feel like
I think Tracy will be fine. She's the genius out of the three of us.
that's
And
true. That's true.
You know she loves a good binge.
She does.
I do.
but
I'm
I
fine
know-
with
As
it.
long as it's not a 3-hour movie, she's good.
Yeah,
Exactly.
she's
I can do
good.
9-10 hours of a show, but a 3-hour movie, forget it. I'm
She
out.
draws the line there. That's it. She has her boundaries.
Yep.
But I see what you mean about it being like Game of Thrones, and I'll just say that because I'll keep my comments for that episode when we talk about it.
Okay.
What have I been watching lately? I've been watching X-Men 97 on Disney Plus.
I've been watching that too.
Yeah. What else have I been watching? Gosh, has my life been that boring?
I
Yeah.
know I am.
Wow.
It's probably been like that. I get it.
Yeah. Hey, well, this
Wait.
episode comes out on my birthday, so...
Woo,
No.
Happy birthday.
Oh, wait, not this episode. Oh, wait.
Guys, it's Giovanni's birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow would be May 2nd. But tomorrow, the episode that comes out tomorrow is sad. It's Zone of Interest.
Oh, my God, I forgot about that episode.
That's depressing.
Why'd you have to bring that up again? No.
I'm sorry, I'm just keeping us humble here.
It's a zone of not interested. Like,
Exactly.
oh, you know what I've been watching? the Sex and the City series all the way from the beginning for like the fourth time because my boyfriend has never watched it before. I know.
That's a crime.
It's a crime, and he's gay, so it's a bigger crime.
That is a bigger crime, for sure.
And he wants to live in New York City, and I was like, there's no way that you are a gay man wanting to live in New York City and you don't know a thing about Sex and the City.
Wow.
And he is loving it. He is flying through those episodes. I mean, they're short, but I'm watching them like I've never seen them before. I'm sitting there like a kid. I love that. Like, oh my God. Like, I know what's going to happen, but you know. But
I made Trey watch it too, and he loved it. Oh, wait. I have been watching... Oh, fuck. This is embarrassing. I've been watching The Valley, which is a new reality show.
Oh my god!
Like the Vanderpump Rules,
and it's like some of the it's like Jax and Brittany and Kristen. They were in Vanderpump Rules, and they live in the Valley now, like which is a neighborhood in LA. And they made a show, and it's so fucking good. Like, it's such good trash TV. And then I'm noticing, again, the same thing that happened with Vanderpump Rules when it came out, which I didn't know because I wasn't watching it when it came out. I just binged it this year. But they interviewed Rihanna recently, and they were like, what do you think about The Valley? And she's like, how do you know? And I watched it. And they were like, well, we know you like Vanderpump Rules. And she's like, I'm obsessed with The Valley now. And Jennifer Lawrence, you know, the same people that love Vanderpump Rules love The Valley. It's so entertaining. And
I love that you're getting sucked into the Bravo world. I love it.
I am obsessed. I'm following all of them on Instagram. I need to know more about their lives and why they're so fucked up. And then they also, almost all of them have podcasts. So I'm backing myself, you know, I'm like, you don't have to listen to them either. It's okay. You don't have to get involved that much. But I'm like borderline there too. It's so sad.
Rihanna also loves The Housewives. I don't know if you saw that episode where they asked her about that. And she watches all those shows. Meryl Streep watches The Housewives too, Jennifer Lawrence. So I'm hoping that maybe one day you'll probably get sucked into it too.
I feel like what I'm watching is The Young Housewives right now.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, bad TV.
It's so good. And like some of them, like the same people, like Jax and Kristen were the troublemakers in Vanderpump Rules. And now they're in the Valley and they're the troublemakers there too. I'm like, these people make good TV.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
I'm like, give me more.
They do.
Make the drama, please.
Please.
Make it happen for us.
We live for the drama.
Yes. And I watched a movie called Migration, which is a cartoon. Because I saw it. Yeah. I saw it available. I think it was on Peacock. And I was like, let's just watch something mindless. Yeah. And it was so funny. It's so funny. Is that the one with
the birds that they're like flying? Okay.
With the ducks. Okay. They're ducks that fly. So well done.
Cute. Sometimes it's nice just to like watch like a kid movie because they have adult jokes in them.
Yeah,
they have to. You know?
I feel like all the jokes are for the adults. They're not for the kids.
Yeah, there's a lot for sure.
Yeah,
they have to because they're the ones taking the kids to the theater to see these things. So you have to entertain the adults.
Now that you say that, Tracey, I recently watched a kids show on Disney Plus called Turning Red.
Oh, the Pixar movie.
What's that? The
Pixar movie?
Yeah, the Pixar movie. I'd never watched it before. Have you guys watched that movie?
I liked it.
I remember watching the trailer.
I loved it. It made me a little teary-eyed. It's always, it's nice sometimes to just sit down and watch a Disney movie or a kid's movie that you know is going to be funny.
Yeah.
It's just, the child in me. Sometimes I just want to go back to that.
Yeah. I was gonna watch some trailers and stuff, but honestly, there's so much to talk about this show, that the one that we're discussing today. So I was like, we won't have to get into all that.
Let's get into it.
Wait,
What are we
Tracy
talking-
wanted to say something before.
Oh.
What do you want to say, Trace?
Oh, I don't remember. It's fine.
Welcome to the daily
important.
life of Tracey the Samba.
Oh my gosh, seriously. When you know the thing when you like walk into a room and you're like, I needed something. What did I need? And then you walk out of the room and you're like, oh yeah. And then you go back in the room and then you forget.
Oh man,
I'm at that point.
It's gonna
I
come
know
up at a
that
certain
feeling. Actually, let me bring out the outline because I had forgotten to bring it up. Okay,
Here,
there we go. I
Nikki,
see it.
do your homework. Be prepared.
You fucking bitch.
I'm excited to talk about this show. So
Me freaking too.
So let me introduce the show. So today we will be discussing a mini series that is on Netflix, so you can find it there. It's called Baby Reindeer, and it's about here's the synopsis. When a struggling comedian shows one act of kindness to a vulnerable woman, it sparks a suffocating obsession which threatens to wreck both their lives. Starring Richard Gadd, Jessica Gunning, and Nava Mau. Did I say that right? Mau?
It's probably Ma or something
Ma.
like that.
Created by Richard Gadd, directed by Veronica Tofilska, Josephine Bornbush. Those are
Josephine, two women.
Two women, two different names, two different people. I just butchered that. I am so sorry.
We're sorry to the directors, but when I was
Brilliant
getting
work.
all this information, I was so fucking pumped that it was two female directors.
Fuck yeah.
Because I'm like, only women can do what they did
Right.
with this show. Holy shit, what a great fucking show.
What a great fucking
Right.
show. I'm just gonna say that I went in blind, like I didn't know what it was about.
Same.
Yeah.
And the first thing I saw was like, oh, a true story. Oh, I love a true story. Reenactment. Let's go. And then near the end, I found out that it's about his fucking life.
Yes.
How the hell do you reenact that trauma? I don't know.
The fact that he actually, this is probably part of the fun facts, but he had it on a play first. It was an actual play first. So he's been reliving this, and I feel it's his way to heal at that point, because if you're so comfortable constantly reliving your trauma, it's a healing journey then.
Right.
But before we get into all of that, I think this is one of those shows that we need to go through the storyline. That's why I put the episodes descriptions on it. So
Right.
okay, let's start with the first one. Do you want me to read it first?
Yeah. Jump right in.
Yeah, okay. So, struggling comedian and barman Donnie meets a lonely woman claiming to be a lawyer. He offers her a cup of tea on the house, and she's instantly obsessed. There's something about that first episode that sucks you in right fucking way. And I'm gonna say this about the actors too. What an impeccable work.
Holy shit.
Especially
So great.
her, especially Martha, and her name is, I think, Jessica Gunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was every line that she said with her eyes wider than I was speechless the whole time. And the way that the story captures your attention right away, because at the beginning, because of the way she's dressed, you don't really believe that she's a lawyer, or that if she is, it's a weird kind of lawyer. But the way he's smiling at her, you're thinking, oh, there's gonna be a lot. As a person that went in blind as well, I was like, oh, there's gonna be some love story here first, you know, because I had no idea what the show was about. I didn't know where it was going, but then the moment she started like laughing at all the jokes, I was like, wait, this is taking a different turn right now. And all of that I got in episode 1.
And her
like all the
maniacal
feelings.
Yeah. Well, they're just their first interaction together. Like, just even seeing in, like, her eyes. Because when he tells her, like, oh, you can have the cup of tea on the house or whatever, in her eyes, like, uh-oh. Like, you could tell she's, like, infatuated with him right away. Like, oh, uh-oh. And, yeah, like, what lawyer can't afford a cup of tea?
Right. Come on. That's the first thing that came through my mind. I was like,
I can afford that so fast.
Yeah. And then when he, like, I like the voiceovers that he does. Like, sort of narrating it. And even he's, like, I said it out loud. I was like, what lawyer can't afford a cup of tea?
Yeah.
And then he literally was like, what lawyer can't afford a cup of tea? And I was like, okay, I'm right with him.
Yeah.
Do you think that she walked in and, like, she was, like, she knew, she targeted him, like, she knew, okay, this is my new victim? Or do you think she just went in and...
No, I think she went in. His kindness.
His kindness was what kind of got her to latch on, and she just fucking latched on.
Well, unfortunately, I feel like she's the type of person where even if it had been someone else, and if they had done the same thing, she would have latched onto them because she has some sort of mental illness. I mean, there's
100%.
no way that she can't. And, like, low self-esteem. And something happened in her life where she's probably so bullied or something as a kid. So it's like anyone that even remotely is kind to her, it's like, oh, you want to be my best friend, or oh, I'm in love with you, or
I don't know
gets attached to them.
If you guys noticed, but at some point, maybe later on the other episodes, she does talk about her parents constantly fighting.
And she leaves like a voicemail.
Yeah, and the fact that she says it so deeply, like it was constant, and I was like, because I don't think people are not born stalkers, you know. That obsession of obsessing with someone there's definitely something deeper there. So I think that trauma that she went through, who knows, maybe the actor herself had to create her own trauma, you know, to be able to portray this role. But I think that issue with her parents and the constant fighting made her believe that whatever that obsession that she had with him, and the fact that he would laugh at her jokes and he would respond to her attention, that's a relationship. You know, like I that's the way I connected it in my head, because I was like, honestly, I don't know if you guys looked it up, but I didn't. Like, what are the bases for a person to become a stalker? No. Is there how do you say, is there like specific things that have to happen? You know, I don't know. It would be really interesting, now that I'm saying it out loud, to, you know, to see if there are common things between people that become obsessed with other people. You know.
Also, I feel like there's probably a couple of different types of stalkers, because I'm sure there are the ones who like don't make themselves known. Or more like voyeuristic and like, you know, hide.
Sneaky ones.
And then there's ones like her who make it a point of like, I'm going to go to his work and I'm going to sit at the bar all day, even though I have to leave.
Right.
You know, oh, I can't stay long. And then she's there all day. So, yeah, that's the thing too, is just spending all day.
And it happened
at the
fast.
pub. Yeah.
It was like, it happened immediately, because she was coming in every day. talking to him.
Yeah, I think it was
was
that.
like-
And then the emails.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
the emails. Which how did he get it? She get it again? She saw
The
she found-
website.
His website.
She found his website because let's also get into this a little bit. So he's a comedian, right? A struggling comedian who works as a bartender with these douchebags at this bar. He also sounds very lonely and insecure.
Oh, 1,000%.
And he has this dream of becoming a stand-up comic, and being very successful.
But his routine is shit.
Right. His routine is shit, but he also keeps it as a secret, he has a secret life outside of work because he doesn't want his and coworkers to find out because he knows that they are going to make fun of him for it.
He is definitely a struggling comedian because the suitcase with the props, I was like, what are we doing here?
Oh my
Right,
God.
like he wanted to be Carrot Top. My thing is that's such a niche form of comedy, and if it's not really working, like, wouldn't you want to switch up your routine?
Yeah.
He would pull up the same costume, the same wig, and Trey kept saying,
mink
why
hat?
does he keep doing that?
Yeah.
Right.
So my mother died today.
Silence.
And it's like, if no one's laughing, it's not a good joke.
Yeah, then that's when you change.
Right.
You're like comedians. I feel like successful comedians are constantly
Evolving.
evolving, writing down notes, like things that pop into their head. Like always, you can't just stick with the same thing. Like if it's not working, switch it up until you find what does.
Also, to make it even weirder, the man lives with his ex-girlfriend's mother.
Oh gosh.
I was like, what is this setup? Like,
I mean, there's still,
struggling.
it's true, but as you watch the show, you realize why the arrangement, the living arrangement is like that. Because at the end of the day, I feel like as a person, nobody want to live with their ex-mother-in-law. I don't think it's a choice. I think he didn't have a choice.
He doesn't have the money, I guess, doesn't have enough money to live out on his own or just live anywhere else. It sounds like he had it very easy there,
But also, I feel like the mother liked having him there.
She did for sure because
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
they, showed us that from very early on where her son had died and she had offered
The coat.
the coat to him. What's the character's name? Donnie. She offers Donnie the coat and, to kind of like wear and to kind of keep her son's, I guess, spirit around or energy. I don't know, so she did. She liked the company for sure.
I feel like that's sort of a running theme in this show is just like being sort of codependent on other people. Because it was like obviously Martha, but also I feel like Donnie feeds into that relationship.
100%. He likes the attention.
Because
for sure.
I mean, you can tell like he just has horrible self-esteem. So this woman walks in and she's laughing at his jokes, and it's like, oh, someone finds me funny.
Right. That's why he also latched on to her because his, his comedy sketches shit, and he's finally found the fan, so he was not going to let that go. Speaking of codependency, he's also dating, right? And trying to figure out his sexuality. And he meets Terry, who is a trans female, who, by the way, I love that character.
Oh, she did great too as an actress. She
Not
was
just
amazing.
the actress; she was a great actress, but I loved her character. Like
She was so confident.
Yeah, so confident, and I felt like her character was so. Her character thought the same way I thought, like so real. Where I want to meet her. Well, why not?
Well, that's what I'm saying. The actress was insane. And again, these are people. The three of them. Nava, Jessica, and Richard, I have never seen like their work. This is the first time, and For me, the word, it was impeccable. The three of them.
Yeah.
I was like, where did these people come from? Obviously, Europe, because, you know. But Shakespeare, they know better than us. But their work was so good, you know. I think Nava, and I don't, you know, I don't want to speak for her experience as a trans woman, but, you know, she must have had her own journey herself as a person, and then portraying a journey in this character. It must be really difficult. It's you know, I have no idea, you know, I mean, I know they have a lot of struggles because of people's acceptance, but you don't know the depth of their struggles. You don't know how deep it goes and how it comes into relationships, you know. You the whole time you see Terry, her character, be so confident, and then you see her getting, her confidence is just being stripped off by her boyfriend in like the first like few episodes, because, you know, he can't get hard for her, you know. She and we forget, I feel like I forget, when you see strong characters or strong people, you forget that they have their weaknesses, and, you know, they have feelings. When it's always like the strongest people have the most feelings, and I forget. And the way she portrayed that, I had no words. I was like, it's so beautifully done.
Yeah, I agree. And to add to that, you were saying that she feels kind of like hurt by Donnie because, one, he lied to her about his name, his identity, what he does for work. He wanted to hide her, you know. I'm sure Nava probably faced that in real life, you know, as a trans woman in her dating life. Another thing was, she also feels that Donnie does not defend her. You know, when that whole incident, that fight happened at the bar, where Martha attacked her and called her those names and said those nasty things to her, you know, it's just kind of like, shit, like, I immediately thought about the actress. Like, oh my God, has she ever experienced that in real life? You know, now she has to relive that for this character, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like, we don't know what her, as a person outside her job, went through. And then to have to, you know, have to portray the same struggle or even worse or even less, you know, it must be so fucking hard. And she did such a good job in that role.
But, you know, she's upset that Donnie just doesn't defend her because he won't bring her out in public. He hides her. And when Martha was attacking her, he was just fucking standing there. Like, I don't feel like he did enough.
Absolutely not. And
Yeah.
I mean, at least at the end, he was like, get out of my fucking life, leave me alone. But I feel like that was, like, attacking Terry was the catalyst, but he was doing it more so for him. You know, like, you had to attack this person that I love for me to be able to stand up to you and tell you to get the fuck away from me. Because he had opportunities.
Right.
You know, like, when was it before this happened, when she like showed up at the canal and was following him, and he was like, stop. I would have pushed her in the canal.
I thought he was going to push her.
I thought he was going to. I would have pushed her in.
And then she gives him a hand job.
Oh, she was like rubbing his crotch.
What the fuck? I remember
she molested him.
Shock. But I think he kind of wanted it, or kind of like, what? I don't know.
I think what had happened to him,
it's what he's used
earlier. Yeah.
Well, so did that come before or after that incident with the writer?
That comes up later.
No. The incident with the writer, like, all those months was before meeting Martha. But in
right.
But
in the show, they show it on episode 4. Yeah.
So,
correct. Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't put two and two together, Tracey. I didn't realize that until now when you said it. That
She forced herself.
she forced herself on him, and he had just accepted it because that's what he's
That's
used
what
to.
he knows.
Because of
Yeah.
his previous traumatic experience with what the fuck's his name?
I don't.
Damn, I forgot. But
I
Asshole
hated
writer.
him. Yeah.
that asshole writer, who fucking is grooming a word? Because he's not underage. No, it's like
I don't think it was because grooming. Well, yeah, it could be. It could. You can say grooming, but grooming is.
I mean, he was abused. He was
he
sexually
was
Yeah,
abused.
he
Yes,
was
he was
abused or
like,
raped.
Let's just say it. He was raped.
Yeah.
He was
We'll
drunk.
call a spade a spade.
Right, call a
Yeah.
spade a spade. He was. I don't know if we want to say if he was drugged because Donnie did kind of consent to it, right? But that doesn't give anyone the right to sexually abuse.
It's abuse of power. He
Yeah,
kept
okay.
promising all this thing. This is when you can say
Yeah.
like he was grooming him, but then like you can say that because when you groom somebody, it's because there's an end goal for them to be doing this constantly. Like that's for you. But he was just taking advantage of Donnie's admiration towards him. And
Yes.
he was taking advantage of all the power that he had over him. And he was like, look at this kid, or look at this guy that, is naive, has no idea,
Inexperienced.
has no idea the power that I have and that I'm going to take advantage of right now. And I'm going to promise all these things and they're not going to fucking come. And I'm going to rape the shit out of him. I'm going to abuse the shit out of him, not only mentally, but emotionally and physically. Because that part where he says that they will have this weekend of him like drugging him and taking advantage of him or raping him and all that stuff, and then on Monday he would like send him an email basically telling him your fucking script is trash and you need to do better and all this. It was such a mind fuck.
A mind fuck.
To this victim the whole time. And I my body hated him so fucking much. And it's so nice from outside to be like, oh, he should have done this, he should have done that, but we have no fucking idea what being in the position is like. And he was a desperate actor basically.
Yeah.
Looking for a job, looking for his opening door of,
Right.
what's going to be my next step, what's my success.
Right. It's like he thought that he was presented with this amazing opportunity to skyrocket his career. Mm-hmm. And also, like, how did he not become addicted to all these drugs?
Oh my god.
Because when he was like, oh yeah, we did crack, and then we did
then
meth,
heroin.
and we did heroin, we were dropping. I'm like, how did he not get addicted?
But that's why I think addiction, and this is a different conversation, but I think addiction is more of like a disease, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are just a lot more vulnerable to.
Yeah, you have to
Fall
also
to
have
that,
like
become
super
victim to
addictive
addiction.
personality.
But yeah, so this fucking piece of
Suppose,
shit guy.
But
I don't
I see what you say in Tracey, because not only it was just drugs, it was addictive drugs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Like
it
it
was
wasn't
like
just
the
like he was
heavy
going
shit.
and smoking,
Yeah.
like
It was
having a doobie. Yeah, it was like fucking heroin and meth. I mean,
And
that
crack.
shit is.
And if
Right.
we know
And
anything
G-
about
G.
and if we know anything about crack and how it makes people crazy, Griselda did show us that.
You got a
Watch
sneak
that.
peek.
And how addictive it is. So
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. And he was going all the time and doing that shit. I don't know. Yeah, that whole part just made me feel
that
so sad.
episode 4, when he said, for me to report Martha, it means I have to go back and
Like, why
think
wouldn't I
of-
report him? Because I mean,
that
'cause-
line killed
Yeah.
me.
That was good.
You're
Yeah.
reporting a stalker, but you're not reporting the guy that fucking raped you and abused you.
Right, right. And I think also that's sort of like probably answered, I would say, a lot of viewers' question of like, why is this guy stringing this woman along? Like, that's pretty fucked up. Like, you're complaining, oh, she's stalking me, but you're sort of instigating things.
Yeah.
But then I think learning all of this, right, his train of thought and his experiences and his trauma that he had been through, and I mean,
if there's something I love, it's a show that's gonna tell me why the characters are the way that they are.
right.
Because the first 3 episodes, we're all wondering the same thing. We're like, but why is he not he's not stopping this? Why is he engaging in this attention? He's complaining, but he's also like not letting it go. And then episode 4, boom, slap on the face. Here it is. This is why he is the way that he is. And then the fact that this guy actually lived through this in real life. No worries.
I could not believe it when I found out. I was like, wait, what? First of all, I always hear that it's so difficult to act as yourself, but he did amazing as
Impeccable.
Ronnie. You know, like impeccable. I was like, holy shit.
I hope they all get nominated.
That'd be amazing.
He did such a great job. But yeah, like, I mean, that happened in the very first episode when the cop asks him, well, 6 months, why'd you wait that long to report it? And he's like, well, I got to go back to the beginning, you know? And I was like, oh, I love it. Let's go. Where are we going? You know? But it sucks, you know, that people who have suffered these traumatic experiences, like being sexually abused and raped, you know, which does happen, unfortunately, every day, they somehow dig themselves into this guilty place where they, in shame, that they don't speak up, they don't say anything, you know, and they become victim to this abuse, which is what happened with Donnie, you know, and that breakthrough moment that Donnie has, that, you know, stand-up comedy performance where he just completely goes off script and opens up. I think that saved his life, you know.
100%.
Saved his life. And
that monologue was insane.
That monologue was insane. It made me feel so uncomfortable. I was like, please stop.
Oh, I was sobbing.
Please
I was
stop.
crying too, but I didn't want him to stop.
And also, like, the fact that he didn't expect it to go viral, and it went fucking viral to the point that, like, everyone saw it. His parents, his ex-girlfriend, like, holy shit. Could you imagine being in that position where you're putting out your whole trauma, your whole life story, your deepest, darkest secrets out there, and now everyone knows, the whole world knows.
And it was Martha that did that.
That fucking cunt. Well, she did him a favor.
Yeah.
That's one good thing that she did. With kind of, you know, it was not her intention, I'm sure, because she's a fucking psychotic cunt. But she was crazy. She was crazy. Like,
what was happening there when she was like sitting at the bus stop?
What was that about?
And then she like zoned out, and then he was like, Martha, like, let's get you home.
Yeah. What do we think happened there?
In my mindset, I think she let her mental sickness win in those days. You know, I feel like I don't know the psychology of, you know, a stalker or a person that's obsessed, but, you know, they know that there's something themselves. They know that there's something off, and they if you're constantly telling them to stop, they'll go away. They'll, you know, again, I am speaking out of my ass and what I've seen. I don't know how they become like that, but I think when she's at the bus stop, her mental sickness, she gave up on fighting it. You know, because I think like when you're like that, it's like an addiction. You have to it's an everyday fight. So she gave up, and her mental sickness of stalking this guy took over, and she just couldn't win that day herself consciously. And she was just there because she couldn't help it. That's how it felt for me, but I have no fucking idea why.
Could be that. Could be. I
Because
don't.
she looked like this.
A zombie.
I'm
Like she was
tired,
empty.
and I
Empty,
can't do
tired.
anything about it.
Because she was
You
there
know?
all day, every day. I mean, everyone's got a breaking point. You know what I mean?
When was she eating? She wasn't sleeping.
I
That's the
know.
thing too. And it was cold.
It's like when you
So-
give up on your disease, basically. You know?
Yikes.
Wait, I want to talk about a turning point. Well, I don't know if we call it a turning point or not, but you know, things are finally going well for Donnie and Terry. And well, hold
Why
on.
are they going well, though?
Hold on, let me backtrack. Things are somewhat going well until it doesn't, because they're having sex issues where you mentioned this earlier, Nikki, that Donnie can't get an erection for her, and it starts to affect Terry. Terry starts to get stressed out. She starts to get her personal past traumas start to come up, and all of a sudden, Donnie ends up fucking Martha. And I thought that was a dream. I thought it was fake. I was like, no, there's no way that this is really happening.
I still don't know if it was real or not.
I think maybe that was a fantasy because
I thought it was
You
a
think so?
fantasy.
Yeah, because I feel like if he really had slept with her, we would have heard her say something. She would have used that against. I mean, he didn't even send an email about anal sex, and she was bringing it up constantly. So there's no way that he would have sex with her, and she wouldn't be
would-
like,
yeah.
"Yeah, well, you can't do this, but you'll fuck me." You
In
know,
the
like she
moment,
would have said something.
In the moment, I was like, oh, he fucked up. And then she never mentioned it. And then I was like, oh, it was a dream. Because I don't know if you see like this scene, how it was done. It was like he's looking at her picture. He's jerking off. And then they show him with Terry. And then they go back to the picture. And then they show him with Martha like focusing on her Martha. And then suddenly it's Terry. So I think he was having
Right.
sex with Terry thinking it was Martha.
Like fantasizing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you think he was having sex with Terry while fantasizing about Martha, and that's the reason why he was able to perform sexually with Terry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh shit, that's fucked up.
Which is super fucked up.
So I
That's
mean,
terrible. That's
so
worse.
now I wonder if that's all. If that was the final push that he needed to finally just get his dick up to fuck Terry, or if he constantly had to do that every time he had sex with Terry. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot in this show about sexual orientation and him discovering, you know, himself and what he is attracted to. I think himself doesn't even know. Like, his trauma fucked him completely.
Yeah.
And, you know, and seeing his pain of like, I don't know if, because, you know, after the trauma, he's fucking everyone and everything, basically. You know, he's trying it all. But then the moments, you know, there's feelings and there's more vulnerability, he has no idea, you know, like what he really wants. And I think his issues were that connection of, you know, sex and being vulnerable together. And I think he was able, there were many moments with Martha. She was fucking psycho, but she says to him, who hurt you? It was a guy, wasn't it? The fact that she was able to go so deep so fast with him, I feel like he felt like he could trust her somehow, you know? And then he was never able to tell Terry that. you know? And even though he didn't tell Martha specifically, but she knew that a guy was, you know, the creator of his trauma, or quote unquote what Martha thought of a heartbreak. And then
like just being seen by another human being.
Yes, and then I feel like still by the end of the show, we really don't know, you know, his sexual orientation. And I think the show is about that. It's, you know, discovering who you are and how traumas can fucking fuck you up so hard. So, yeah, I don't know. That's my opinion on that.
Well, I wanted to talk about sexual orientation. You brought it up, Nikki, and because I think there was a beautiful moment where Donnie is talking to his parents about the video that has gone viral. He's like, I want you to know something about me before you find out about this, you know, video. And he confesses to his parents about the sexual abuse and his sexuality and what he's been going through and experiencing. And the mother's devastated, and the father, like, I couldn't get a read on him.
God,
I was like, oh my God, the father's gonna be extremely pissed.
I cried at this part too.
I was just
Me
like,
too.
oh my goodness, what's
that
gonna
broke
happen?
me.
And then his father just starts crying and says, "Do you think of me as less of a man?"
Well, because Donnie says it.
Oh, right, Donnie says
first.
it.
He says it
right.
like, I didn't know how to tell you because I was worried that you would think I was less of a man.
Right.
And then his father says, would you think I'd be less of a man? And then Donnie's confused.
I knew it. I knew when the dad asked that, I connected the dots. I was like, oh, fuck. And then when
my
he brought
heart
up,
completely broke.
I know.
he brought up the fucking church thing, I was like, here we go again.
Me tienen harta. I'm so sick of the church.
The fucking church. I was like, stop raping kids.
I know.
Stop going to church.
PSA, church, stop raping the kids.
Stop
Thank
raping
you.
the kids. And I'm like, bro, like, come on.
God.
But that was, it was
and then when they hug,
moment.
the three of them.
And it was like,
I know.
Donnie was so shocked. He wasn't like, I guess, you know, toxic masculinity, men are not, known to be vulnerable.
I'm sure he was shitting
especially
his
the
pants.
British. What's
Well,
that?
they're Scottish.
Oh,
So I feel
Scottish.
like
Sorry.
that's hard too. And
Hard,
especially
yeah.
because the men are like
Right.
pretty...
And how I think right before they show when the dad is talking to the police, or when he's talking to Martha on the phone,
yeah.
I laughed so hard.
I love that part.
They're showing the strength of his character. So you're thinking like so masculine, and like
Right. He
fuck
doesn't take
you.
shit.
Yeah. So you're building this character up in your head, and then like to later know that he actually went through the same thing as his son. It's just...
And it's like a bonding moment for them. Unfortunately, they're bonding through their trauma, which is terrible. But that he can still understand and love his son the same. Like, he doesn't think anything less of him. That it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
So I was like sobbing at that part.
Same.
It was so cute when he's on the train and the parents are like right there at the window.
Yeah.
I
like,
know.
And
Adorable.
when he says, he's like, oh, go have fun with the tranny.
Oh,
Something like that.
yeah, good luck with the tranny.
Yeah.
He said another word. He said, what was it?
Oh, transvestite.
Transsexual.
Sexual.
Transsexual. Well,
That's like...
back in the day, I think that was the correct terminology. Right?
Transvestite?
Transvestite, yes.
That was transvestite, like, and then transsexual, and now it's transgender.
I have no idea.
Oh,
I only remember transvestite, but when he said transsexual, I couldn't stop laughing because I'm like, that's such a parent,
funny. That was funny.
But he's supportive, and that's what matters.
Right? Yeah,
that was cute.
I thought that was a beautiful moment and bittersweet moment, because they are having some common ground, although for very unfortunate reasons, they actually have each other's support and love, and they're there for each other. I thought that was very sweet. But yeah, I'm trying to. Something I just really want to understand, and I'm going to go to the end about. Well, I guess you kind of answered my question for me. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm thinking out loud. But, the victim usually goes back to the abuser because throughout the whole show, we see that theme of codependency, like you mentioned, Tracey, where he keeps kind of going back to Martha. Liz likes having him around, so she needs him, and then he keeps going back to this fucking abuser, the writer, and then at the end, he goes back to him again after all that shit. After he's
I think it was like some kind of closure for him, and
I don't know.
No, I think, well, that my perspective was,
yeah, tell me what you think.
Yeah, I think his intention was to go and be like, you fucking hurt me, you motherfucker, you did this to me. But the moment he walked in, it was all, his intention was completely gone, and you can see that this motherfucker was not remorseful at all.
No.
It was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry.
He really didn't think he did anything wrong.
You didn't.
And I think, yeah, okay, I agree with you there, Nikki, where he went in thinking, I'm going to stand up to him and I'm going to tell him what you did was wrong. And then, but he gets there and they're just like joking around having a cuppa.
Oh my fucking God. And then he comes out and then you can see that he's defeated. Like, he cries. Like, I feel like for me, it looked like he wasn't able to do what he actually wanted to do.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Like, there's sort of a sense of, like you said,
disappointment.
defeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I really wanted to do this thing and I didn't quite get there. Which, listen, the fact that he even went back to his place, that's a huge step. Like, I don't know if I'd be able to look my abuser in the face ever again. So maybe that's sort of a bright side that he took out of it. Like, at least I'm strong enough that I can look him in the face and I can still go on with my life.
I also find it so strange that the writer just kind of let him in, because the writer now knows that everyone knows that he raped him.
I think it's
just like, come on in. I don't know.
The narcissism of I can get away with anything I want, and it's what Tracey just said. In his mind, he didn't do anything wrong.
Ugh, disgusting.
He's like,
or because it's like
another,
or because I like plied you with all these drugs, so maybe you were hallucinating.
Yeah.
Like maybe he could sort of.
And you haven't reported
feel like
me.
Get away with it.
Yeah,
like, it's your word against mine. We don't have any witnesses. If this is what you think happened, that's on you.
It's been years now. What are you going to do?
Gross.
Another pab, pussy ass bitch. Why do we always have pabs in our episodes?
Like major pabs.
That is a major pab.
Which also, I wonder if that
he
guy
can
had
definitely
done
suck Giovanni's fart.
He can suck the fart out of my ass.
Oh, straight out of his butthole.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Trace?
I'm just wondering if he had ever done that to anybody else.
100%.
Oh, for sure. Okay. I immediately thought that too. I was like, he's definitely done this before.
I was like, I wonder how many.
He's done this before.
He was so like comfortable with it too when he started dancing. I started laughing, but I was thinking like, this motherfucker does this all the time. Like, this is not new to him, and to use that word again that we used before, the grooming, I feel like he had done that. He had done many groomings before to, other aspiring actors and writers. Mm-hmm. He took advantage of his power and said, let me, drug these kids.
I just remembered something. So do you remember how he gets the card to go to that VIP bar? Do you think he left it there on purpose? Do you think that the writer saw his show, and left it there on purpose, or no?
Maybe.
Because I asked
that.
that. I asked that because someone left a card. We don't know who, but someone left a card in the bar. And when Donnie is talking to one of the writers at the bar about the Cottonmouth show that he's a huge fan of, this writer, who we fucking forget the character's name, I'm gonna look it up, walks
He
right
doesn't
up
deserve
to Donnie.
to have a name.
Right.
Yeah,
He
the
walks-
asshole.
The asshole, the pab, walks right up to Donnie. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he just saw his target. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like abusers have this sort of sixth sense when it comes to finding victims.
They see their prey.
Like they can sense a vulnerability in this person, or like a self-consciousness, and they latch onto it. So I do think Donnie sort of gave out that vibe, and yeah, he probably latched onto it. So
I also think
Either way.
the card, but then like the moment their first interaction happens, you see Donnie like right away admiring him, and you're such an amazing writer. I just said this as a joke because they were jerking me off basically, about. So it's just like, this is why we have to always be so careful with the people that we talk at bars.
just in general in life, just always sort of have your walls up a little bit,
Yeah.
Because I think we want to try to, as human beings, give people the benefit of the doubt. And we want to see the good in people.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think when you watch enough true crime and you listen to the podcasts and you see the news and all, you just have to be so wary, because a lot of people wear a mask. They put on this face of, oh, I'm a good person, and then behind closed doors, they're fucking terrible. And that's not everyone, but yeah, we just have to be careful.
And you also wonder why, like, the kids at the bar that worked with him hate him so much already, because they were trashing him, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm also a writer, whatever," and it's like, God knows what he did to them.
That's true.
I immediately thought of Jodi Arias, stalker.
Right.
Hiding behind a Christmas tree.
Yeah. I could not ever get that out of my mind. That fucking Christmas tree. Damn, that's a scary story.
Oh, man.
Psycho.
And if true crime taught us anything, like you said, Tracey, it's like, well, specifically,
Fuck Politeness.
Fuck Politeness by My Favorite Murder. Fuck Politeness, and always just be aware of your surroundings. Always be aware. Like every time I get in the car, I close the door immediately behind me. I lock the door. I always look over my shoulder. Fuck politeness. I don't trust anyone too much.
You don't have to say
care.
yes. You don't
I
have to say yes.
No is a full sentence.
Exactly.
All right. Is it time for fun facts?
Yeah,
Wait,
if we want it to be.
Before the fun facts,
I love every time Joe's like, fun facts, and he's like, wait.
Nikki's like,
Wait,
no.
wait.
She's like, I don't want you to
It's
have
fine.
fun.
well, because I just wanted to fuck you. So I just wanted to
I don't want you to
say,
have fun.
no, I was just thinking like the whole thing with first of all, the guy playing the cop, I think, what an amazing actor too. He was so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, he was so funny.
And useless. I think he played that so fucking well. Just thinking about how much of a psychopath Martha was by the fact that she was recording, what he would say to her and use it against him because, she had been through it already. So she was like, this time they're not gonna get me. And then that one little slip when she kept calling him. First, she got his number somehow, but then like she kept calling him and calling him and calling him until that one voice message. that said, you know, I'm gonna kill your parents or I'm gonna kill you, something like that. And that was,
Stabbing
you know,
something, yeah.
I was thinking that I'm sure a lot of like little details, I don't think the whole thing is true. You know, I think there's some little things that they probably like added or, you know, made it. But I truly hope that lady is in jail in real life. You know, that's probably
Or that
one of...
she at least got help.
Yeah, because...
Is this in Fun Facts?
This is, yeah. No. I don't know what happened to the real life Martha.
Okay.
But she definitely is someone who needs help, whether it's like therapy, medication, whatever.
Something. Yeah.
Well, you said that
it's
she
like-
got help. How do we know she got help?
No,
I said
she's
she
hoping.
needs it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she definitely.
I'm hoping that she's able to get the help that she needs.
Yeah.
It's like jail, yes, but also it's frustrating where, especially here in America, where it's like people have mental health issues and then they fuck up and we just throw them in prison. Like there's no rehabilitation.
Yeah.
In this country for people, and I think that there are people who can be saved.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
100%, I agree with you.
She's fixable.
Now that we're jumping in the fun facts, I have a question for you, Tracey, because I know it has to be there. When he had it in a play, when he did the show in a play, was it a one-man show? Is that what I understood? He played all the roles?
So I do have something about that.
Start us up with that because I am dying to know. Or just give me that fun fact first.
Okay. Where is it? Hold on. Okay. So Baby Reindeer was originally a 70-minute one-man show in Edinburgh Festival Fringe. And so Richard Gadd used Martha. It was a stool. So it was him and then a stool, and he would just use the stool and like change the positions of it depending on whatever circumstances happening. So yes, it was a one-man show, 70 minutes long. First started in Edinburgh, and then later it actually was transferred to the West End.
Wow.
In London, and it won an Olivier Award, which is like Britain's Tony Awards for outstanding achievement in affiliate theater.
That's insane. A one-man
Which
show?
is amazing. Yeah.
That's really fucking hard.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that says a lot for him, and he finally figured out his routine because the props were not working.
Yeah.
So, good job,
Although
Richard.
he did use a stool, so...
Yeah.
Right. But that's okay. I get that. The real life Martha. So I actually just read today. The real life Martha has responded. Okay, listen, I'm going to question the source because she talked to the Daily Mail, which we know is like such a rag and loves gossip.
But we're here for the tea.
Exactly. But I do believe this is probably what she said. She says that Richard Gadd is stalking her with the making of Baby Reindeer and using it to bully an older woman for fame and fortune. She claims she's also seeking criminal action and that she's the victim.
Lovely.
Okay.
And in the show, they do sort of shorten the age gap, but it is 2 decades in real life.
Oh, shit.
So she was 20 plus years older than him.
Holy shit.
And he was
That's
in
insane.
his mid-20s at the time. Anyway, this is crazy. So Richard Gadd received a total of, get this, 41,071 emails, 744 tweets, 46 Facebook messages, which actually isn't that much, 106 pages of letters, and 350 hours worth of voicemails from Martha. And each email in the show is depicted word for word, which I love that when
So
it
they
would, like,
sent from
have the,
I
iPhone,
love
she would
that,
type
yeah.
that.
that, yes. So her
Sent
spelling
from
is
iPhone.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and she did the sent from iPhone, which
Yeah.
obviously we know it wasn't because she.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
so all of that was used, the voicemails verbatim. Like obviously Jessica Gunning,
Yeah,
it was her
yeah.
voice, but those were the voicemails that she sent him verbatim. The emails, all of it. That's true.
I love the voice, the emails.
The spelling, I had to I was like, I need to pause this because it's like a puzzle. I have to cipher it with like the misspellings and the.
Tracy, talking
not a
about how many emails again it was?
41,000.
I get one email and I get
Plus.
stressed out.
Joe, I was just
I
telling
get
you.
10 and it's junk, and I'm like, leave me alone.
I was telling Joe that I need to send a message to like a TikToker, and I'm so lazy. And it's like I would be the worst stalker ever.
Enough with the emails, please.
That is
No
that
more
is my
emails.
thing. How is there are not enough hours in the day. Like
This
she's
is why
sitting at that pub all day. How is she sending so many emails and the voice even
This
he's
is
like
why
I
it's a
can't I haven't
disease.
listened to them because there's just too many. But she's talking the whole time, leaving those messages.
I know.
And
Yeah,
like, how do you
laziest
have so
stalker
much
ever.
to say when you don't have anything else to do? You know.
And the mood swings too. That's the thing. Even he was like, I could never guess what her
Yeah.
mood was gonna be. Because one minute it would be like, "Oh, I love you, baby reindeer," and then the next would be like, "I'm gonna cut your fucking cock off." Yikes. Nava Mau plays Terry. She actually learned ballet.
Okay.
So that little scene where she says, "Oh yeah, my mom made me take ballet," and like does a couple pirouettes.
Oh right.
She actually took classes.
Okay.
That's cute.
And then in episode 3, when Martha finds Terry and Donnie on their date and attacks Terry, the cast and crew have said that it was really traumatic for everyone. Nava was required to cry for 10 minutes straight, which was challenging as Nava has said that she has experienced that violence before. Wow. So when you were talking about like her trauma and all
Yeah.
that like it was personal
Yeah,
for
the
her because
reliving
she has
of
gone
it.
through she has gone through things. Oh,
Heartbreaking.
Hard.
I thought this was interesting. So in an interview, the person had asked Richard, when we first see Martha coming into the pub and she's crying, and they asked Richard, like, did you ever find out why she was so upset? And he said that there was a question that he constantly asked himself. He never knew why, but he thinks that the reason that she was crying is because that she had just ended like a stalking episode with someone else.
Yeah.
And then that whole scenario happened, and then she transferred it to him and like latched on to him.
Yeah.
I
That
thought
makes
that
sense.
too. I was like, I wonder how soon before
Right.
she met Donnie did she stop stalking her last victim.
Right, absolutely. And then last thing, Richard has said that he left the ending ambiguous. So when he's at the bar and he's like, "Oh, I left my wallet," and the bartender gives him
Season 2.
the drink for free. He just said that he left the ending ambiguous on purpose because he wants the audience to decide the ending for themselves. Just to like take away. I know I wish it's season 2, but
I was like,
just to
season
take
2?
away. I know, take away what they want to interpret from it. He has what he wanted it to be in his mind, but just sort of like leave that up to everybody else and get from it what they will. So
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting
This is
because there
probably
could
my
be
favorite
several.
fun facts.
Really?
Yeah, I don't
Oh.
know. I think I just like this series so much, and
It's also
I
so
mean,
interesting,
it's
that
interesting.
Yeah.
It's
the guy that lived it, created it, and started in it. He made that choice of exposing his story, and then I'm not only going to expose it, I'm going to lead it physically. Like, people are going to see my face, and they're going to know it was me too.
Wow.
And I mean,
That's brave.
I know.
absolutely. And he said like he obviously changed people's identities for their, anonymity and safety and everything. And he's even pleaded online with people to be like, don't look for the real Martha, which people are going to do that anyway.
Hell yeah.
For sure.
But he mostly said like just the emotion of it, because of course there are a few things that are going to not be totally consistent.
Yeah.
But just like the raw emotion of it, like that he wanted to capture throughout.
I mean,
And I think he
think he
succeeded.
did. Yeah.
I felt it.
Do you know how many years ago was this? Like that happened to him? Do we
I think
know?
they say it in the show where it was like 2 years.
No, I know the length was 2 years, but how many years ago it was?
I think she stopped in, what did it say, like 2017, 15?
Maybe because when he did that one-man stage play that you referred to, Tracy, it was in 2019.
Okay.
So it was definitely before that.
I feel like maybe, I can't remember if it started or ended in 2015, because I was like, oh wow, this is 10 years ago. Like that's...
Yeah, I think I
train of
remember
thought.
that they said a year, and I just didn't pay attention.
No, that's okay. I don't remember.
It's okay. Well,
Sometime between, around 2015. Something.
I love them fun facts. I can live off fun facts. Now, Rotten Tomatoes score was 97%, which I found low because I was like, this deserves 100.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I know.
So
What's
well
3
done.
more percent? Come on.
3 more percent.
Just
Cheap
give it to them.
asses.
Right.
Seriously.
And then the audience score was 83, and I was like, people, get it together.
Get it together.
So, I think we can. I know Rotten Tomatoes is like, create your account. Shut the fuck up. I
I don't want to, and then I have to remember a password and a
I
username.
know.
I don't have.
I don't have
brain
any more
capacity
passwords
for that.
in my head.
And I want to add that
No.
IMDb gave it an 8 out of 10, which I think it should. I think that's okay. Could have been an 8.5 maybe or a 9. But
I think this is like a
10,
pretty
10.
Good, yeah, this is like almost a flawless show for
This
me.
was.
I mean, it had
Solid as fuck.
I give
everything.
two
It had all the
thumbs up
feelings.
and my big toe.
Absolutely. Just one big toe.
All of
Yeah.
them.
my 2 thumbs up and then my 2 toes.
All
So I
of
highly
them.
recommend it.
All the
10,
fingers.
10. I'll show my
It was-
toes too.
I would show my toes, but I need a pedicure.
Oh, my feet are disgusting. I'm not showing anybody my toes. I don't even want to look at my toes.
I could show my toes, but that's not for
Hey,
free.
maybe we'll
so.
make some coins if we show. We'll probably make some coins if we do show some toes.
No
Create a
free
separate
feet
account for
pic.
that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
this was a fun
excellent
one
show,
for me.
so,
This is a good
yeah.
show. Yeah. Thank you.
Recommended to everyone.
And also, I recommend listening to The Show Must Go On, too.
Yes.
As we're recommending it to the people who are listening. So thank you.
Please do.
Just share it with your friends. Show the love. Please rate us. Rating is so important. I keep rating ourselves all the time because
Yeah.
Apple Podcast is always like, say rate this show, and I'm like 5
Well, you
stars.
have to be your own cheerleader, you know? You're
So-
your own
True.
fan.
That is a
I
good
know
point.
I am. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks
So-
for listening, guys. Join us every Thursday for a new episode where you hear us judge. And if you want to judge with us, you can comment, like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok and Instagram, and give us ideas. What else should we talk about? What other shows, movies, documentaries should we watch? And
Should we have guests in the show? And if
Yes.
you do have any recommendation, please send them through. Yeah.
Bingo. All right.
Love it. Beautiful.
Yep.
So,
Well,
guys.
I guess until next time.
Until next
Next
time.
Bye.
Bye.